Hi, I'm Marie and I'm a member of the Andover Baptist Church community. And this week I've got the pleasure of spending a bit of time with you every day just to talk about intentions, direction and project plans. Sounds mysterious? Well, hopefully it'll make a bit more sense to you as we go throughout the week. At the beginning of this year, our ABC community worked through a sermon series which was called The Beginner's Guide to Predicting Your Future. And one of the things that we heard in that series really impacted me, and it was a statement that said, direction, not intention, determines destination. So in other words, if we intend for a certain outcome in any area of our life, we need to ensure that the path we're following leads us to that destination. And if we don't, we're not going to achieve the thing that we're going after or the desired result. And it sounds really simple, doesn't it? But to me, it was really profound, and I don't know why, but it was. And, I'm a brass player. I've played a brass instrument since I was a young girl. And as a young girl, I had dreams of playing professionally, either that or being a music teacher. But then I went in a very different direction in life and ended up doing something really, really different for my job. But to become a classical musician or a teacher, I look back and think, well, what would I have needed to have done? I might have had to do some investigation around how I would go about getting into such a career. I'd certainly need to have understood any courses that I would have had to have done and what I needed to do to get myself ready to apply for and go on to those courses. And actually, I could never have gone to music college if I hadn't done some preparation and training for that to put myself in the position. I would have needed to have practiced my instrument a lot and potentially learn a second instrument. And I think more importantly than all of those things, I would have needed help, advice and input from people who were experts in the field or who knew more than me, who could teach me, advise me and mentor me. So actually there's quite a lot of steps to go through in order to ensure that I'd have been able to successfully go down that route. It's so important, isn't it, to get the right advice to start with to help you with anything that you're trying to do. Then you've got to do the right training. I can't go to music college if I can't play an instrument. Then I'm not likely to get there either if I'm not persistent in my practice and I don't have a focus on it. And finally, I need to have a faith and a belief in myself that I can actually do it. Now, for those of you who don't know me, I didn't end up as a professional musician. I actually went to college and university to study business studies. And since then, I've had a really varied career that has included working in the NHS, working as an auditor, in business development, and I've been working here at Andover Baptist Church for almost 6 years. So I certainly didn't have any of those jobs in my plan as a young girl. Now, last year I hit a milestone birthday, and it was a time of reflection for me on life and achievements. And I imagine most of you know what I'm talking about, because even if it's not a milestone age, there are lots of the milestone events that cause you to look back and reflect. And luckily, I'm in a position where I can look back and say, wow, that's been good. You know, there have been certain bits that have been good, great, and bits I don't want to go through again. But actually, when I look back, two things do strike me. The first is I can't remember some of my dreams and ambitions, and I'm not just talking about the childhood ones. I'm talking about ones as a young adult or as a slightly older adult. And the second thing that strikes me is for some of those I do remember, they didn't all come to fruition. Why is that? Why is it that so many people have a clear and mental picture of where they want to be, either relationally, financially, professionally, and yet years later, they don't find themselves there? Or even worse than that, they're really far from where they wanted to be. How can we put ourselves in a better position? Well, that's exactly what I'm going to be looking at this week. And thinking back to my childhood ambition of being a professional musician, I'm going to be focusing in on those areas that I talked about earlier, including help and advice, training, focus and persistence, and faith. And rather than talk about a song or refer to a song that's been relevant or recommend a song. I'm actually going to do something slightly different and recommend some great devotionals or study plans from the fantastic YouVersion Bible app. And it's an app that I've used so much over the last few years, really helped me in my spiritual growth. And the plan I wanted to recommend to you today is a plan called Rooted. And it's a 21-day study written by Banning Liebscher, who's the director of, or one of the directors of Jesus Culture. And it's all about the importance of making roots that last. And it's really, I mean, I love most of the studies in this app, but I like this one, and there's a link to it in the description below. So before I go today, let me just finish in prayer. Lord, I thank you that you have a plan for each of us. And it's a plan to help us change the things we need to change, a plan to help us grow, a plan to help us develop. And I thank you that you give us a vision, or if we tune into you, you can give us a vision of where you want us to be. Amen. So thanks for joining me today. And I do hope you come back and join me tomorrow as I chat more about help and advice. Thank you.